Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today for a session about the checkpoint innovation, the checkpoint way. My name is Itai Greenberg and I'm the VP Product Management and Product Marketing in Checkpoint. So let's start. So the checkpoint way. I'm going to start with the checkpoint principles. Every company have their own principles. We have ours. And for us, we have three of them: prevention, agility, and consolidation. Now, to think about prevention and to develop products that's all about preventions, we need to make sure that all the products can stop the attacks without false positives and without impacting the users. For example, if the user is downloading a file from the internet, you don't want him to wait for 2 minutes for the emulation to take place. It needs to be in seconds. He needs to get it immediately. So to do prevention without impacting user experience is the key. Second is agility. We need to make sure that everything is developed for the cloud, everything is developed based on shift left API, everything is integrated with the CI/CD, and we need to think about consumptions. How do you actually buy the products and not commit for full years, but based on what you actually need? And consolidation is the third principle. We need to make sure that everything works together, from the policy, from the logs, from the threat prevention, from the intelligence, everything needs to work together. Now, when we think about the checkpoint infinity, we call it the Infinity Next. This is our architecture to secure everything from the cloud, the data center, offices, endpoint, mobile, and IoT. So this is our architecture, and when you zoom in into this architecture, you would find that we secure 50 types of assets, starting from networks, endpoint, mobile, and cloud, which we do all kinds of them. But over the last year and a half, we started to zoom and provide security also for workloads in the data center, in the cloud, and IoT devices. We also have over 60 types of security services. We call it the brain. This is what we are offering to all the checkpoint products. We give them the ability to get the best security, the best prevention, and most of it is serviced from the cloud. It's a cloud-delivered security. And the key benefits of this security of those services is that it gives the best security, as you can see by NSS, with 0 false positives. And we're doing it with preventing the unknown. We are very strong in preventing the unknown. I don't think there's any vendors in the industry that does a better job with preventing the unknown. And then we secure the zero trust, the access, hardening, and compliance. And as you can see, also more advanced things for checkpoint like code and API security. I mentioned before that CI/CD and automation is key. You can see here that we're offering solutions that are optimized for the DevOps people. You can integrate security during the development cycles. You can check that your application is secure before it even goes into the production environment, with tight integrations to different types of CI/CD tools like Chef, Ansible, Terraform, and Puppet, which we have special plugins, and everything is API first. So let's talk about the Checkpoint 2020, the Checkpoint way. Now, when we look at our users, traditionally Checkpoint focused on the SecOps, on the network security people, on the endpoint security people. But over the last few years, we started to focus a lot on the cloud and the DevOps people. What can we give for the cloud architects, for the DevSecOps people? How can the security fit to their needs? And to the SOC people. How do we have the SOC people to do better hunting, investigation of threats in their environment without spending precious time, to do it in a very accurate way? I'm going to talk about the Checkpoint way in 4 key pillars. The first pillar will be, how do we secure the cloud? Then I will talk, how do we secure the access to the cloud, secure devices, and our consolidated story. So let's start with, how do we secure the cloud? Now, we in Checkpoint, we have a solution for securing the cloud for the last 5-6 years, and we are very, very committed. This is our #1 growth engine for the company. It's a 9-digit business for Checkpoint. We secure over 4,000 customers that decided to move to Azure, to AWS, to Google. And those customers can take advantage of multiple products that are all under the CloudGuard umbrella, the CloudGuard solutions. We are the #1 security vendors by Azure. More than any other security vendors in the world, Microsoft Azure recognized Check Point as the #1 security vendors by business volume. Now, to simplify the story of the cloud, let's look at it as if we see the cloud on the left side, we have the IaaS. This is where we have the virtual machines, the workloads, some of them containers, and the right side is the PaaS. This is where we have hundreds of services. It can be like storage as a service, database as a service, load balancer as a service, all those kind of things. And Azure, AWS, Google, they give you hundreds of them. To secure both the left side and the right side of the clouds, we provide with CloudGuard a full solution. This solution gives you kind of a virtual security for the left side, a virtual perimeter, and macro segmentation, which is fully automated inside your cloud. We are also scanning all your services on the right side to make sure that are properly configured, and we are doing it with over 2,000 type of best compliance rules, best practices that make sure that your cloud stays secure with whatever you do in an automatic way from a DevSecOps perspective. Now, as we zoom into the cloud, we see that the cloud is actually consisting of a lot of small elements that communicate with each other. It's no longer a three-tiers application. The application is spread over a lot of containers and serverlesses and virtual machines, and they communicate with PaaS services, some of them even across different clouds in the data center. This is how our application is diverse. Now, you need to understand this maze. You need to understand how everything actually works together. This is why we came up with the solutions with a security product that gives you full visibility of what is happening inside your cloud. You can actually create kind of a Google map for how the application actually communicate with each other. And just like with Google Map, where you see how the traffic flows, how the policy actually looks like, you can create layers of views, just like in Google Map. And one layer is the traffic, one layer is the policy, and anomaly can be yet another layer, which eventually gives you the ability to really pinpoint misconfigurations, security incidents, security problems in your environment by zooming in and zooming out into all the applications inside your environment, inside your cloud. I mentioned before that we have virtual machines, containers, and serverless from different types. It's crucial not only to secure your perimeters, your services, but to secure the workloads themselves. And for that, we came up with a technology, with a nano agent security technology that sits inside your VMs, inside your container, inside your serverless, and make sure that those workloads stay secure. To explain what you get from those technologies is way more than what you can imagine from network and compliance. We're talking here about hardening and vulnerability scanning, web and API security. Literally, we are seeing and checking that every communication on every API is legit. We're doing it by understanding the baseline. We're using machine learning and artificial intelligence to understand what is good and what is bad. We're not asking you, the administrator, to configure everything. It's all automatic. We're doing code analysis and runtime protection, whether it's static and dynamic code analysis. Those are the things that the most advanced security that you can imagine for the cloud environment, for the applications themselves. And everything is integrated into your CI/CD. You can deploy the security via CI/CD practices, but you can also check that your application is secure during the CI/CD stage, before it moves into the production environment, what we call fail fast. You develop, you make a mistake from security standpoint, let me alert you about it before you put it in your production environment. So to summarize our cloud strategy and solution, you see that CloudGuard is a full solution that gives you the ability to secure your private and public clouds on the network level. It gives you posture management. It gives you workload security, whether it comes to containers and serverless. web and API protection, and cloud intelligence and threat hunting by understanding everything that is happening inside your clouds. So we talked about how do we secure the cloud. Now let's talk about how do you connect to the cloud in a secure way. So when we look at the cloud in the center, we want to connect our data center to the cloud on the right side, and we want to connect users and offices to the cloud as well. So to connect the data center to the cloud and to connect the users and offices, we're offering great solutions. Let's take a look. So let's start by understanding how do we connect the remote users and the offices to the internet, to the data center, SaaS, IaaS, and to the corporate network. This is our SaaS solution. The Checkpoint SaaS solution is called Cloud Connect. And this solution is consisting of 11 types of security capabilities that are all delivered from the cloud, from the Checkpoint Cloud, from the Cloud Connect. You can see that we have the threat prevention, the zero trust, the SDP. We have the web security and browser protection, DLP, DNS security, integration to SD-WAN, a long list of security capabilities that you get by using the Cloud Connect. Now, if I'm looking at the remote user story, you see that we have three ways or three solutions that works together for the remote users. The first one is client VPN. I can give you a simple, small client VPN, and you can use it to connect to our Cloud Connect. This is the number one here that you can see. And from there, you get all the security from the Cloud Connect, and we will connect you to all the things above, to the corporate network, IaaS, SaaS, data center, and internet. But if you don't want to use a client-based solution, we're giving you also a clientless solution with the latest acquisition that we did, Odo. With this solution, you can use your browser to access your desktop, SSH, SQL, and of course, web applications. So not only web application, you can access other types of applications from a clientless solution. And the third thing is that we're giving you browser protections to protect your browser. We'll talk about it momentarily. But as you can see from the clientless solution, you get a zero trust, a connectivity between a user or a user group to a specific application in your environment, whether it's in your data center or in the cloud. The benefits of Odo, of the acquisition that we did with the SDP, is that first of all, it works for managed devices without a VPN. It can replace a VPN. It works greatly for bring your own device, for your home computers, for your mobile devices. Why? Because again, you don't need any client. It works from your browser. And third, we have special capabilities that are designed for the DevOps people. We automatically scan all your applications inside your Azure and AWS, and we give you a very automated and simple way to connect developers to cloud applications. And again, with a clientless solution, all from your browser, including SSH, including SQL, including RDP. You can access it all. I mentioned before the great innovation of the browser protection. This is something that I really, really like. And let me explain why. Well, you can use the client VPN and the clientless to access the internet. Obviously, you want to use number one and number two to access all your corporate applications. That makes sense. You want to secure your client and you want to secure the applications. But what if a user wants to use his own computer to access Facebook or his own private bank account? Or maybe he wants to access YouTube and stream a lot of traffic. Why should I use and connect and redirect all the traffic to the Checkpoint Cloud Connect for user personal traffic? Let's bypass the Cloud Connect. Let's make it fast and direct to the internet for traffic that goes only to users' private things, not to corporate applications. Yet, I still want to protect the browser from the bad things. And this is what we do with the browser protections. We give you the ability to, first of all, within the browser to prevent you from using corporate credentials for your private things. You cannot use the corporate username and passwords to access Facebook, for example. We are doing anti-phishing inside your browser. We will prevent you from accessing malicious URLs, malicious websites. And if you download the file from your browser, and this file happen to be a malware, a malicious file, we will prevent it from happening. We will make sure that you can only download files that are legit. So the number one solution here, the client VPN and the clientless, can work perfectly with the browser protections. And the beauty here is that you don't need to deal with GDPR problems, you don't need to deal with latency, and we can give you unlimited browser protection in terms of consumption because you don't need to pay for the cloud traffic. Perfect solution for your SASE solution, for your SASE strategy. For the branch offices, we're offering you the ability to connect to any type of SD-WAN solution in the market, to all the leading ones. Now, it's not only API-based connectivity from within the VeloCloud GUI, from within the Silverpeak GUI, you can choose Checkpoint as the next hop, meaning that to connect your SD-WAN, your branch office, to CloudGuard Connect is a matter of seconds. You open the browser, the GUI of those SD-WAN vendors, and you drag and drop Checkpoint as the next stop for the connection. That simple. We have this level of integration with all of them. Now, you can also choose to take a small virtual gateway the Checkpoint gives and run it within your SD-WAN's product. Again, we are supporting it on VeloClouds, on Cisco, on Ayaka, on Versa, on Aruba. You can take those Checkpoint virtual gateway, a UCP, and run it in those SD-WAN. Two options, either redirect the traffic to the connect and do the security in the cloud, or to do a local breakout with the security on the SD-WAN itself. To connect the data center, we're offering a solution that, again, it's amazing. It's a patent by Checkpoint. Think about what kind of gateway do you need to use in your data center to connect to your clouds. You should expect to have a lot of traffic coming from your clouds to the data center and from your data center to the cloud. So will you buy a big enough gateway today to service the next 2-3 years? This is a big question that I'm sure as a customers, all of you think about it. With Checkpoint, this is not a problem. We're offering you Maestro. And with Maestro, you don't need to think about what type of gateway you need for tomorrow. Buy what you need for today. You can buy 2-3 small gateways, 4 small gateways, connect them together. And if next year you need another small one, another, you can connect them all together. And they are all acting as a one big gateways together, even though they are consisting of multiple gateways. You can connect up to 52 gateways together. Now, the scalability is not the only great capability of Maestro. It's amazing by itself, but it's not the only thing that is amazing. Any other vendors will give you a cluster solutions, 2 gateways, one run in active and one run in passive. The problem here is that you don't really utilize the CPU that you buy. First of all, you have one gateway that does nothing, fully idle, so you don't use the CPU here. And the one that you buy, you can theoretically use up to 50% of the CPU, but practically you use most of the time 30%, 40% of the CPU. So of the 2 gateways, you actually use 20% of the CPU. You don't utilize the investment that you put on those gateways. With Maestro, totally different. Because we are running as a cloud, you can connect 4 or 5 gateways to the Maestro. All of them together can utilize 60, 70% of the CPU. Because it's N+1, the availability is much, much better and the utilization is much better. Let's take a look at an example here. We have here on the left side the Checkpoint Maestro. 2 Maestros, this is the orchestrator for high availability, and 4 gateways connected. You can see that the competitions give you 2 appliances, each one of them is 3U units, altogether again 6U, comparable. The competitions give you up to 30 gig of traffic with this configuration. With Checkpoint and Maestro, you get up to 120 gig of traffic, much better. But the beauty here is that you can go up to 1,500 gigabit of security with this configuration. So when you need more capacity, you don't need to shut down your data center, just add another gateway. Sorry. So we talked about how we secure the cloud, how we securely connect to the clouds. Let's talk about how do we secure devices. Now, we have in Checkpoint the SandBlast. SandBlast is the best security that you can find today for mobile, and we did an amazing job to secure also your endpoint. Not only securing your Windows and the Mac, but also securing the Linux, and we have over 50% year-over-year growth with this business. So by itself, doing an amazing job. But I want to talk about today about the new things, the Checkpoint security for IoT devices. What do we do for smart office, smart building, for medical devices and industrial devices? Here, we have the Checkpoint IoT Protect. With the Checkpoint IoT Protect, you get, first of all, the discoverability. You can see what you have, which IoT devices you have, understand the risk level, apply zero trust segmentation and policy, and also get the Checkpoint threat prevention for your IoT, which is optimized for your IoT. So when you look into this product, you would find that, again, we discover everything. We automatically profile your devices. We're also offering you a firmware assessment. This is, by the way, again, something that you can try today. It's an online service that you just give us the firmware of your IoT, and we automatically generate for you reports about your firmware risks. We automatically apply network policy for your IoT. You don't need to configure it manually, one by one. We automatically recommend the right policy for your IoT. And on top of everything, we're giving you the ability to use, again, a nano agent security within your IoT. If you're an IoT manufacturer, we can give you a security that you can now sell your IoT devices secure out of the box. We also have tight integration with all those IoT discovery vendors. Now, I talked about the firmware risk assessment, the online reports that we are giving you. So you can try it today. Just give us a firmware, and we will generate this beautiful report that tells you about weak and known credentials, known vulnerabilities in this firmware, software misconfiguration, and suspicious list of domains that this IoT is trying to communicate with. To summarize, what we do is, again, goes back to our consolidate story. And I want to talk about how we secure everything with a consolidate solution. So I started my presentation telling you that we secure over 50 types of assets, and we're giving you 60 types of security services delivered from the clouds. You can manage them all. All Checkpoint products today can be managed from the cloud, from the Infinity portal. You just log into a portal solutions, and you would see soon enough, we are updating, by the way, the experience of the Infinity portal, one place where you can manage your Infinity, your clouds, your devices, your network, your services from one place. Now, inside our consolidated story, you would find the Checkpoint Infinity SOC and XDR solution. With this Infinity SOC and XDR, you can find in 99% accuracy infected host inside your network. So you don't need to do much. We just tell you this host, we know for sure it's infected, and we're giving you the tools to clean it up. We're also giving you threat clouds, the largest and the strongest threat intelligence in the world. We're giving you the ability to query it, just like a Google search. Take any IOC in the world that you have and check it against threat cloud, either via APIs, or we're giving you a beautiful report, a beautiful dashboard of any query that you would do. Again, everything is available as part of Infinity SOC and XDR. And on top of everything, we are giving you here also the ability to protect your brand. We will find lookalike domains that hackers will try to mimic your domain, and we will help you to take them down if needed. This is a kind of a screenshot that looks how the Infinity SOC looks like. I encourage you to go and try it today. So to summarize, I introduced today 12 types of innovations. I'm not going to go one by one, but you can read them all. These are the innovations that we are promoting and delivering it to you, to our customers, to make sure that your environment stays more secure in a more consolidated solution. We're offering a solution for the data center and for the perimeter. We're offering a solution for the cloud native. We're offering security to connect your user and branches to corporate and to the internet in a secure way. We secure your users, devices, and email, and we secure your IoT. And we're doing it all with the Checkpoint Infinity solution. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I hope that you would, and I appreciate, by the way, very much the time and you being our customers. So thank you very much.